Hello viewers, thanks for dropping back into Craps Hawaii. Today I'm gonna shoot a video that kind of is in conjunction with the video, my last video shot, which is about knowing your increment bets and your payoffs. Only thing, this video is more basic. It's actually for the player or someone who has never played the game before, and I'm going to go over some basics for those people who don't know how to play and want to learn how to play. And basically this video was requested by one of my viewers whose name is Wayne, who lives on the island of Oahu in Honolulu, Oahu. And he just wanted to shoot a basic video so he could show his friend who lives in Washington and his son, and try to get them involved in the game of craps. So let's get started. And it's pretty hard to explain to someone that really doesn't know anything about the game. I wrote a pamphlet, maybe about 15 pages, that I published, and it was really hard to make a pamphlet for someone who knows nothing, because as a player you tend to skip over a lot of things thinking that they should already know this. So anyway, this is for Wayne, so he can show his friend and his son and get them involved, and they're in Washington. So here we go. So basically I'm going to walk you through the steps as if you were coming up to the table and you wanted to turn your cash into chips, and a little bit about what the bets are, what the payoffs are, what are the proposition bets, maybe a little bit about pressing up your bets, power pressing up your bets, what the payouts are, what bets you can make, what bets you can't make, how much you gotta bet. So there's a lot of things involved. So let's just start with you walking up to the table. So when you walk up to the table, you're gonna notice that there is one person sitting here, right where the table goes down and all the chips are set here. There's gonna be one person sitting down here at the chair, and he's called the box man. And his job is to make sure that all the payouts are correct, people are making the right bets. He's actually keeping an eye on the dealers and the stick man. Okay, on either side of the box man there are two what you call dealers, one on each side of him on each side of the table, and their job basically is to make all the bets and payouts for these bets in front of them. So each side of the table is identical. So if you walk up to a table and when you watch the game you say, wow, it's really busy, there's so many things going on, but in actuality this side of the table is identical to the other side of the table. Okay, so depending on where you are, if you, let's say you're on this side of the table, you don't care about anything going on that side of the table because they're making their own bets. Okay, so you're going to be concerned only about this side of the table and perhaps these proposition bets. Okay, the other thing is when you get up to the table, either most likely here on both sides of the table on this wall they're going to have a plaque, and that plaque is going to be stating the minimum bet and the maximum bet that you can make on the crap table. Okay, so most time it's a $5 table, and you're going to see minimum bet 5 and maximum bet. The maximum bets, depending on the hotels, are set by the hotels, and they could run from $500 all the way up to $5,000. Okay, and then during the weekends or sometimes holidays, they'll change the minimum bet and maybe go up to $10 or $15. The max normally stays the same. Okay, so now when you come up to the table, you're gonna look for this button. Okay, this button has an offside to it and it has an onside. Okay, so When it's in the off position, that means there is no bet or number established by a shooter. Okay, so that is the time that you want to place your bets. Okay, because there is no bet that is established, and so there is only betting going on, and you don't have to worry about the dice is out and it's going to be thrown by a shooter, and you have your hands inside the table and might hit your hand the dice and cause some kind of conflict because the shooter doesn't like the number that came out and hit your hand. So always look for this button to be in the off position before you change your cash into chips or make bets. Okay, so that's really important. If the shooter is throwing the dice, you would see the button on and it will be on one of these numbers here. And at that time, you do not want to place your money on the table and make change. You know, that's just part of etiquette. Wait till the shooter loses his bet or wins his bet and the button goes back to off. Okay, so now you get up to the table and the button is off, and let's say you can buy in. It's a $5 table you're seeing. It's a $5 minimum table, so you can buy in for $10, $20, $100. Okay, so at that time you're gonna hand your money, like you're gonna want to hand it to the dealer, but you don't. You put your money down in front of you. You get up to the table, you put your money down in front of you, and the dealer's gonna take the money, and you're gonna tell the dealer, I want chips, and he knows you want chips. That's why you're putting your money there anyway. So let's say you give him $100. So when you give him $100, he's gonna give you probably red chips. Okay, and red chips are $5 chips, and you can tell because there's a 5 in the middle, and there's probably going to be the hotel name and all of that. But basically all the hotels will have already chips that is known by most of the players, that white chips are $1 chips, red chips are $5 chips, green chips are $25 chips, black chips are $100, and the $500 would be different colors. In my case, it's a orange chip, but it'll still have the hotel name. And $1,000 chips. Now these $500 chips and $1,000 chips, there'll be different colors depending on the hotel that you're playing. Okay, so but the basic $1 chip, $5 chips, $25 chips, and $100 chips are basically the same colors. Okay, so when you go into a hotel, you can tell exactly what the denominations are of the chips. Okay, so now you cash your money in, you put it down, the dealer will take your money and he'll change your cash into chips so that you can play. So he's basically going to break you down, give you, right here you got $75, $85, $90, and he's probably going to give you $10 worth of white chips. And you're going to take these chips and you're going to stack it in the rail in front of you. Okay, so you're going to stack it in the rail in front of you. Okay, so now basically you got your money. Okay, so now I'm going to explain a little bit about the layouts. So on this layout, you have a pass line and you have a don't pass line. Okay, and it goes all the way around, and it's in front of all the players. Now, basically, on a regular size table, you will have about max 7 players on one side and 7 players on the other side. So we have the boxman here. You have a dealer for this side of the table, a dealer for this side of the table. Right here in the middle, where the boxman sitting on that end, where you're standing and playing, is a guy with the stick like this, and he's known as the stick man, and he controls the dice. He controls all these proposition bets. So any bet you want to make in here, you would toss it to the stick man and tell him what you want. Okay, so that's his job. His job is to make sure the payouts are correct, and he'll be watching both sides. So make sure the dealers are paying out correctly, collecting correctly, making the right change, and all of that. That's basically the stick man's job. Okay, so now these bets here are called place bets. Place bets have odds that you will get paid for. So I'm just going to be working on $5 bets. Basic $5 bets. So the 4 and 10, as you can see right here, pay the same amounts. The 5 and 9 pay the same amounts, and the 6 and 8 pays the same amount. Okay, so basically, if you had $5 on the 4 or 10, they pay $9 for every $5. Okay, $9 for every $5. $9 for every $5. Okay, that's for the 4 and the 10, and that's on this place bets. Okay, now you also place on the 4 and 10 increments of $5. It can go $6, but basically people will bet in increments of $5, and you need to bet all up here at least a minimum table bet. Okay, now $5 in the 5 or the 9. $5 on a 5 or 9 pays you $7. Okay, so for every $5 you bet, you get paid $7. Okay, now 6 and 8. The 6 and 8 must be bet in increments of 6. Okay, and that's because you get paid $7 for every $6 that's bet. Okay, $7 for every $6 that you bet. And that's basically the payoff for the place bets. Okay, so now those were place bets. Okay, now on the pass line, if you were the shooter, the stick man would hand you the dice, and he's gonna pass you the dice and say, okay, shooter, and he's gonna give you actually 5 dice and tell you to pick 2 out of the 5 dice, and you would pick up 2 and he'd take back the rest. Now he's gonna pass the dice to you, and you're gonna pick up the dice with one hand. You cannot touch the dice with 2 hands and switch them over. One hand, and that's it. And keep the dice in front of the rail over the table. Okay, now to roll, in order to shoot, you need a pass line bet or a don't pass line bet. Okay, so let's say for now you're going to be playing the pass, and it's a $5 table, and you're just learning, so more than likely you're going to bet $5. Okay, now I told you already what the payoffs are for the place bets. Okay, so if you're on this side of the table, you're going to throw the 2 dice to the opposite end of the table. They're going to make sure and tell you, try to hit 2 dice on the wall. Make sure the 2 dice hit the wall, the back wall. Okay, sometimes only one hit, sometimes you're short. That's fine, but basically they want you to try to throw the dice and both dice hit the wall. Okay, but for now, since I'm just throwing the dice, I'm not going to throw it that way. I'm going to throw it this side so the viewers can see. So let's say that's the pass line. That's your pass line. There's no point established, so the button is off. So now you're going to throw the dice, look for a point. So the point is 4. Okay, so now the dealer on each side of the table, they both have a button like this, because this side is identical to that side. They're going to mark the point. So when you come up to the table, and before you cash your money in and all that, you're going to look for this button, whether it's on or it's off. If you see it on and it's all over a point, then you know the shooter has established a point, and this is his point. And then what he wants to do is throw the dice and make a 4 before a 7 comes. Okay, because if a 7 comes, all pass the line bets and all place bets loses. Okay, and so basically almost every bet on the table, unless it's a don't pass bet or a don't count bet, loses. If the point comes, then that point gets paid and the pass line gets paid and all the odds gets in the back gets paid. So now the point is established. You threw the dice, the stick man's in control of the dice, he's going to bring it back to the center of the table, and that's when the dealers will make any payoffs that they need to do, any bets that people want to make or increase. That's when the bets are going to be made. So basically now I'm just going to say for now the odds are double odds. Usually, and I shouldn't say usually, but most hotels, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 4 and 10 are usually 3 times odds. 5 and 9 usually 4 times odds. 6 and 8 usually 5 times odds. And the reason for that is that the 4 can be made 3 different ways. The 5 can be made 4 different ways. 6 and 8 can be made 5 different ways. So that's why the odds are 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So now you know the payoff odds over here. So now you got $10 odds. The reason for taking odds is because you will get paid odds for this money that you have bet in the back. The front lines, pass or don't pass line, is always even money. So let's say the point is 4. Over here, like I said, if you had $5, you get paid $9. Back there in the odds, you would always get paid even money on the pass line. Okay, always even money. But in the back, when it's a 4, you would get paid 2 to 1. So not 9 to 5, but 2 to 1. So if you had $10, you'd get paid $20. Okay, in the front, even money. Okay, so that's for the 4. Now if you had a 5, if your point was 5, and the point was 5, and the 5 was made, you get paid even money, and you get paid 3 for your 2. Okay, you get paid 3 for your 2. Okay, now if it was a 6 or an 8, then you had $10, you get even money in the front, and the 6 or an 8 on a pass line odds bet gets paid 6 to 5, so you will get paid $12 for your $10, $6 for every $5. Okay, so those are the pass line bet odds and even money on the pass line. Okay, so anyway, that was the pass line. You already saw the place bets. There's also com bets that people might play, but you know, because you're beginners, I'm not even going to go there. Then you get just more and more confused. Now, this bet here is called the field bet. The field bet is a bet that is controlled by you, the shooter. Okay, the dealer does not place the bets here for you like he does here. If you want to place any number here, you give your money to the dealer, tell him what number you want, and I don't mean put it up here or just put it down in front of you, basically right here, and the dealer will take your money and you tell him I want to put $5 on the 5, and he will place the $5 on the 5 for you. Okay, now how do you know what money is yours? Because there's players all around the table. So basically, if you see this box, every number has a box around it, right? This box actually is a line drawn through here where it's a square like this. So this money that you gave to the dealer that you want to make a bet will be placed to mark the spot that you're on. So if you're on right next to the dealer, because the dealer stands in the middle, the stick man, I'm sorry, stands in the middle, and you're on the side of him, you will be put right here, because the dealer is right here. Okay, and the next person next to you will be put over there, and so on and so forth, and that marks the spot as to whose bet this is. Okay, that's how the dealer knows that this is your bet, this is that guy's bet, and so on and so forth. So if you have, let's say you bet the 9 and the 10, you're gonna see your spot marked like this. Okay, identical to where you are. So if somebody else wants to get into the game and they want to squeeze into the game, because sometimes those things happen, do not let somebody else squeeze between the dealer and you, because this marks your position as to where you are, and the dealer knows that this is where these bets came from. So he basically may not know your face or anything like that, but when the thing gets hit, the point gets hit, he's gonna pay the $7. He's just going like this because that's where that money goes to. Okay, so don't let anybody squeeze in between you and the dealer, or if you're sitting over, don't let people get squeezed in between, because you're gonna move over, and when the dealer pays, he's just gonna pay right here. Okay, he's not gonna be looking at, oh, where that guy went. No, it's not gonna happen. So you don't want to be moving and let people get in between you, because once he marks you up, that's it. Now if you gotta move, make sure that you telling the dealer, hey, the guy squeezed in here, I'm one step over, then he'll move your bets over by one. Okay, so make sure that you know where your bets are, so that you know what's your bets. Okay, so that's about position and where your bets are, and how you know what bets are yours. Okay, now the field bet is, like I said, is controlled by you, the player. So you can put anywhere in here, wherever you are, put your money in here. Okay, it's got to be the minimum of the table. You cannot be less than that. Now this is the only bet that is controlled by you, the shooter. So if you want to bet this, you just put your money in there, but make sure that the dice is not coming out, the dice is in the middle of the table, okay, before you put your bets in there. Now this bet right here is a one-row bet. It's a one-row bet. I see people want to bet like this. They go, oh, I want to cover the 2. I want the 2. Some guys say, oh, I want the 9, so they put their money. It doesn't matter. This bet in here covers every number in here. Okay, if a 2 gets hit, it pays double. 12 get hit, it pays double. Some hotels, the 12 pays triple. Okay, but it's only a one-row bet. Now if that hits, the dealer is just going to pay it like this. If there's other bets in here, he's just going to pay it. Just going to pay it. It's up to you to pick up that money and rack it. Okay, or if you want to bet it again, double it up, just stack it up. Now if you're talking story and not paying attention, and the dice gets given to the shooter, and the shooter rolls the dice, and if the number is 5 or whatever numbers that not in here, 6, 8, he's just gonna take your money, and you're gonna say, wow, how come he took my money? Well, because if it lays, it plays. That's what the dealer's gonna say. Well, if it laid, so it played, and it lost. So pay attention to these bets, because you control these bets. He pays you, you pick up your bet. Okay, you want to stack it up and bet, double it up, then you do that. Okay, all these other bets, the dealers and the stickman will take care of. This bet, this field bet, is controlled by you. Okay. So I took care there. We took care how to know where your bets are, how you get set. C&E bets. C&E bets are a one-row bet. They don't have to be table limit. Okay. C stands for craps. E stands for 11. So any craps, if you see down here, says 7-1. Some tables, when you go to play, they might say 8-4-1, but it's the same thing. 8-4-1, 7-1. So for every dollar that you have on a crap, it'll pay you $7 for your $1, or to your $1, or if it's 8-4-1, for your $1. Okay. Same thing on the 11, except the 11 pays 15-1. As you can see right here, it says 15-1 for the 11. So sometimes people say, oh, give me C&E, they'll throw $2 in there. Okay, so they'll put $1 on each. Sometimes they'll stack it like this, the dealers, so that they know it's $1 for each one. Okay, as you can see, there are arrows here. That tells the dealer who made this bet. So like marking you over here on the spot, this tells the dealer when he puts it here that this belongs to that player, this belongs to that player, that player, that player. Okay, so that's what the arrow stands for. A lot of times people don't have change, so they're going to throw a $5 bill in there, say give me C and E, high on the E, high on the 11, high on the yo, high on the craps, whatever they want to play, because there's $5, there's only 2 numbers. So actually it's like 2 here and 2 there, but 1 extra $1. So they go give me C and E, high on the yo. So they put $3 on the 11, because the nickname for the 11, you hear them say yo. So if you hear yo, that stands for the 11. Okay. Purpose sometimes of this C and E is that sometimes people make a $25 bet on the pass line, and they want to protect that bet. So what they do is they put $3 on a crap, and that's just to protect their pass line bet in case a 2, 3, or 12 comes out. Because a 2, 3, or 12 on the first row, you lose. 7, 11 on the first row, you win. Okay, so they might feel like, well, a 2, 3, or 12 might come, and I don't want to lose $25, so they put $3 on a crap, which will pay them 7 to 1, so they can win $21. And then they would only lose $4 off of their original pass line bet. Okay, so sometimes that's the purpose of the craps. People do that. Okay, so that covers that. I know I'm going pretty fast through this, but that's why you need to go back, and like Wayne says, sometimes he goes back and goes through a video 2, 3 times, because sometimes you miss things the first time around that you might guess a second or third time that you didn't notice the first time. Okay, so those are those bets. Now over here, if you notice, sometimes you want to protect your pass line bet too, or you just have a feeling that the 7 is going to roll. So you could place a bet here, and it could be anywhere from $1 up. Okay, these bets you can bet $1 up here, and your pass line and your place bets all gotta be table minimum. Okay, so let's say you place $1. This is called the hard ways. Right here is the hard ways, which means the hard 4, the hard 10, the hard 8, the hard 6. And as you can see, a hard way needs to be rolled. If it's a hard 10, 2 5s, hard 4, 2 deuces, hard 8, 2 4s, hard 6, 2 3s. Now there, this bets, once you place these bets, you can place the bet, and these bets will stay here, and it'll be also marked to your position as to where you are. Okay, now these bets here, both sides are going to be betting in this proposition bet area. So these boxes on a legal size table, which is 12 feet, some of them are 14 feet, these boxes are going to be a lot bigger. So you see this line here, between here, this side of the table is probably going to be like this to take care of that side, and this side take care of this half. Okay, because these boxes are big, okay, enough to handle both sides of the table. So just watch where they place your bet. If you're not sure, ask the stick man, oh, do I have a bet there, which one is mine, and he'll tell you. So these bets, they stay up until either the easy way rolls or the 7 rolls. Then you lose these bets. They're not a 1 roll bet, okay, not like this, a field. Okay, now down here is what's called the horn. The horn bet consists of a pair of aces, ace, deuce, 11, and 12. And you can see that aces and 12 pays 30 to 1. Okay, pays 30 to 1. And that's just because they only can come one way, 2 aces or 2 6s. So they pay 30 to 1. The ace, deuce, and the 11 can come 2 ways, so they paid 15 to 1. So you can bet just any one of these if you want to. You can say, oh, give me the aces, and you give them $5 or $1, whatever it is. But it's a one-time roll. If it hits, it gets paid. If it doesn't, it loses. The other thing is sometimes people say, well, give me the horn. And they'll give $4 or increments of $4 each. So that could be 4, 8, 12. So anyway, that means he'll cover all these numbers here, $1 each. But instead of going, give me $1 on the aces, $1 on the ace deuce, $1 12, $1 on the 11. No, he just says, give me the horn. Okay, and it'll give him $4. So it's $1 on each one. And if it hits, you lose 3. You collect the one that wins for $1, and you lose the other 3. Now sometimes people just throw in a nickel, and you're gonna hear them yell, horn high yo. Most time it's horn high yo. Sometimes it's horn high aces or high 12. Okay, but most time they horn high yo. So because it's a $5 bet, you're gonna have $1 for here, $1 here, $1 here, and $2 here because it's high yo, high on the yo, which means the extra dollar is being played on the 11. Okay, so that's why sometimes you hear horn high yo. And that's what it means, that he wants $, $, $2. Okay, so horn, high, yo. The extra dollar goes on the yo. Okay, so that's this bet. And it's a one row bet also, yeah? Just like the field, it's a one row bet. Okay, so basically we covered all of that. Now I didn't cover the calm, I didn't cover the don't pass, because as a new player, it's just going to get you more confused. So I want to just take you on the pass side and the place bets. Okay. So now I'm going to go over quickly on power pressing your bets. Okay, like I think I said earlier, the 4, 5, 9, 10 bets in increments of 5. You could make, because the way that they get paid. So they want to bet in increments of 5. 6 and 8, you want to keep it in increments of 6. I see people put $5, and that just tells me that they're not sure what they should be betting. And sometimes the dealers would ask them for another $1 or whatever, or sometimes they'll just pay them short because it's not the right bet to make it easier to be paid. So anyway, I'm not putting the 5 and the 4 and the 10, because the 4 and the 10 pays 9 to 5, and that's all you need to know, that it pays you $9 for every $5 that you have on the 4 and the 10, until you get to like $20, or sometimes the next you go to 25, and you tell the dealer that you want to buy, so they'll put a buy button on your bet. Now what this means is that, like I said, for every $5 you get paid $9. So if you just didn't buy this, you would get paid $45, because you got $5 bills here, $5 chips here, which would pay $9 for one, which would be $45. But because you bought this, if it hits, they're gonna pay you $50 for $1. Okay, so now because it's bought, they're paying you like 2 to 1, and this $1 is for the commission of 5%. Okay, so you would get $50 for $1. It's always a 5% commission. Okay, so that takes care of the 4 and 10. Now the 5 gets paid $7 for every $5. And if you got what we call 22 inside, because 5, 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, and inside numbers are 5 to 9. Okay, outside numbers would be 5, 9, 4, and 10. Okay, so now 22 inside. So any one of these numbers right here will pay you $7, because the 5 and 9 gets paid $7 for every $5. the 6 and 8 gets paid $7 for every $6. Okay, and that's just because of the odds and how they get paid, because the 4 and 10 can be made 3 ways, the 5 and 9 can be made 4 ways, the 6 and 8 can be made 5 ways, and the house breaks it down as to how harder it is to get those numbers, how easier it is to get those numbers, and so they pay you the odds according to that. So now you got 22 inside. Now we're going to show you one fast power press. So let's say the 5 hits, you will get paid $7. So most people, you're going to just press up the 5 and take the $2 because you can't do anything with that as far as placing, right? But to power press, you get paid $7. You give the dealer $3, and that makes $10. So you're going to press up the 5, you're going to take the other $5, press up the 9. Okay, so we're going to switch that out, and you're going to get paid, you're going to get $10 on your 5 and 9. That's the first press. Now, like I said, all of those numbers would have got paid $7. So now you got 6 and 8. 6 and 8, one of them hits is $7. So you're going to get paid $7. Let's say the 6 hits, you get paid $7. Now you want to press that up. So to power press that up, you give the dealer $5, and that makes $12, and that's what you need to press this unit up. So you can press the 6 up to 12, you can press the 8 up to 12. So now in 2 presses, you went from 22 inside to 44 inside, 10, 20, 30, 40, 42, 44. And that's what we call 44 inside. Now the next press, if anything hits, because this pays $7 for $5, you got $10, you can get paid $14. So it hits, you get paid $14. So your next press would be press your 5, press your 9. Keep your $4. Okay, that's the first press. Second press on the 6 and 8 for the 4th, where you had the 44, you're trying to press this up to 66. So now you already press your 5 and 9 to 15, you need to press your 6 and 8 to 15. So now let's say the 6 or the 8 gets hit, it also pays $21. I'm sorry, $14. So out of the $14, you're gonna press and take your $2 and press the 6 and 8 to 18. So now you went from 22 inside to 44 inside to now 66 inside. Okay, and every stage of the game, when you had 22, it took 2 presses to get you to 44. You had 44, it took you 2 presses to get to 66. Okay, so now you're at 66. So now you want to get pressed up again when you start, after you take some wins or whatever. Now let's say the 5 or the 9 hits. Okay, it still pays the same amount, 7 for every 5, so you got 15. So that's gonna pay you $21. Now with the $21, you're gonna take your $1, and you got $20. So you're gonna press the 5 up to a quarter, the 9 up to a quarter. Okay, so we're gonna color this out, and now you already got your 5 and 9 to quarters. Now 6 and 8, one of them hits, that pays also $21. So with the $21, you're gonna give the dealer $3, and that's because you got 18 each. 18 each added together is $36, and you won $21. So 36, 46, 56, 57, 58, 59, $60. So now you're gonna tell the dealer, take you to $30 on both sides. And now in 2 presses, you're up to $110. Okay, and that's basically how you press your $22 in 2 presses up to 44. In 2 presses, you're 44 to 66, and in 2 presses, you're 66 to 110. That's power pressing it up there. Okay, so that shows you the presses. Basically, I think I covered everything. I'm trying to go through it. I know I'm going maybe too fast, but I don't want to make the video too long. So for those of you who already know all this, that's great, and maybe you just, you know, interested in seeing it being done again. Basically, this was being done for my viewer Wayne, who wanted to see basic craps bidding and placement for the people who coming on who are brand new, how to know where their number is, how to bid, how much to bid, what's the payoffs. So I just went through all that. Hopefully, Wayne, this is what you needed. Also, you know, Wayne was talking, and that's true, that this game is good because as the older you get, the more forgetful you get, and so by playing this game, it keeps your mind working, it keeps your mind sharp, and it's like exercising your body. You go out, some of us go golf, some of us just go jogging or walking, paddling canoe, whatever it is, surfing, but you're keeping your body in shape by working it. This is the same thing, keeping your mind sharp, okay, so that you don't get loss of memory. And it's the same as playing blackjack. You know, you're counting cards, you're figuring out, you keep your mind functioning. So anyway, hopefully some of you that didn't know some of these things learned something. Those of you that do know these things, it's just a review for you. Maybe it's not interesting or whatever, but you know, like I say, I always will make a video if it's requested by my viewers, and I think that it has a, you know, some kind of information for the people who view my channel, and I would make the video for that. So hopefully everything went well, Wayne, and you got what you wanted to see. I have another video I have to shoot for another viewer, Lester B, who wanted to see another video, so when I have time I'll shoot that video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you the next time around. Thanks a lot.